Are the Celtics the favorite to win the title? Yesterday I talked about how I think the Knicks are going to be the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference during the regular season, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I think the Knicks are coming out of the East. And I'm not saying the Knicks are not coming out of the East either. I haven't thought that far yet. However, the Celtics are the reigning champions, and so a lot of people have them as the favorite to win the title next year. It's not just that they just won the title, it's that they basically brought back the whole team. And besides Porzingis, who will be out till probably like January-ish, the team is healthy, and you would expect Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to be even better because oddly enough, or it's not even odd, but just like they've been in the league so long, it feels like, but they're just entering their primes. Like, it is kind of crazy to think about. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown feel like they've been in the playoffs every year for years, but yet they're only like 26, 27, like that age, like still really young. And even if their skills don't necessarily improve, so to speak, their confidence should be higher and they should be more confident in their skills because they just won the title together on the Boston Celtics. And here's where we're going to see what the Boston Celtics are really made of, because I would say a large portion of people obviously believe they won the title. They know they won the title, and they're not saying they didn't earn it, if that makes sense. But at the same time, a lot of people are discrediting their title run because they did have, a lot of injuries in their way, which made their path a lot easier. Now, winning a title is hard, no matter who is in front of you. Like, let's not forget, these are all NBA players. They're all talented, and you also play who's in front of you. So in, the defense of the Celtics, I do think it's a little unfair at times when people go to the extreme and just be like, they had the easiest path to the finals ever and they didn't play anybody, and at the end of the day, they can't control who's in front of them. You just have to play who's there, and that's how they got to the finals. Now, do I think they had the hardest path to the finals? Obviously not. I do agree with the sentiment that I don't know if they had the easiest path ever, but they definitely had an easier path than some other teams in other years. And again, not because of them. It's not their fault. It's just the fact that all these teams had injuries. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't blame the Celtics for playing these injury teams. You could say that their path wasn't as hard because these teams were injured, but it's not to the blame of the Celtics. Like, you just do what you do. But yes, they played a Pacers team where Tyrese Halliburton obviously got hurt. And then they played Miami. There was no Jimmy Butler. And then who did they play in the second round? I'm trying to remember who they played. I'm drawing a blank for whatever reason. It'll come to me later though. The overall point is, yes, they played teams with some injuries. But you also have to think about it from maybe the Celtics were also that good that they made some of these teams look worse than they were. So the best team you can apply that to would be the Dallas Mavericks, because people will say, well, they didn't play a fully healthy Indiana team and all that stuff. The Mavericks, although Luka was definitely injured at some point, like he's always has some kind of injury, but for the most part, the Mavericks were fully healthy. And a team that literally dominated the Minnesota Timberwolves, who dominated, in a way, the reigning champions at that time, the Denver Nuggets, and the Mavericks took on that team in the Minnesota Timberwolves and disabled them. Like, it was crazy the way that they just destroyed them, so to speak. And then they go to the finals and the Boston Celtics do what the Mavericks did to the Timberwolves. And you got Kyrie, you got Luka, and they had a good supporting cast. Again, do we think that team was better than the Celtics in general anyway? Probably not. So the Celtics were the overall better team, and so they should have won, and they did win. So, congratulations. But what I'm saying is a team that was talented and they had a pretty fully healthy roster looked completely different playing against the Celtics. Completely different. They could not get any lobs to the rim. The thing that they dominated the Timberwolves on could not get any lobs. One of the biggest issues with the Celtics going into next season, though, is Porzingis' health. He is that important to the team. We all saw it when he was not there in the playoffs, what a difference it was. And when you are the reigning champions, all the other teams are going to be coming for you. So like, it's a different energy every single night. So if Porzingis, like I said, he should be back by January, but if he somehow does not get healthy at any point in the season, again, we don't expect that, but I feel like that makes it completely different, and it definitely hinders their chances of repeating. With that being said, if they are healthy, they should definitely be one of the favorites to win the title because they just did it, so you obviously get the respect there. And they have a talented team. Like, again, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are literally entering their prime. Derek White, like, one of the best, can do every little thing kind of guys. Drew Holiday is still an amazing defender and can still turn it on offense when he needs to. And Porzingis is obviously a cheat code in a way, in the sense that you have a 7'3" guy who can shoot the three and stretch the floor, making it impossible to guard. So yes, if they are fully healthy, they should be one of the favorites to win the title. Are they the overwhelming #1 favorite and it's not even close? I don't necessarily agree with that. And there are reasons as to why I think that, but like, that's not this video. This video is just that the Celtics are absolutely one of the favorites to win the title because they have earned that right to be favored. And also the fact that, like I said earlier, people are kind of disrespecting their title run in a way should motivate them to come out firing next season. Now, I don't know if they will. Like, I'm not, this is honestly where we'll see what the Celtics are made of. Because, like, that mentality when people say you didn't do it the right way, or, whatever, I'm talking about. Like, this is the time where either they're going to come out and be like, we won the championship and now you see why, or now you're going to see why we are actually the best team. And then they just dominate in the regular season, with that kind of mentality. And again, it'll be hard without Porzingis to like dominate in the same way. Like, so we have to, take it with a grain of salt. But we may see that mentality early from them just because, people are disrespecting their title run a little bit. Again, I don't think they had the hardest path to the finals ever. I don't think anybody can even argue that. Like, I don't think even Celtics fans cannot say they had the hardest path to the finals ever. But at the same time, they still won the title. They still, earned it fair and square. And so we may need to watch out next season and see what happens. Let me know in the comments down below, though, who you think is the favorite to win the title.